Hi, friends. Welcome to Friday, April 10th word study. We're going to jump right in. Word of the day. 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 Today's word of the day is examine. My dentist will examine my teeth to see if I have cavities. Think to yourself, what might make sense? What could examine mean? Well, when I look at the sentence, I know that examine, in order to examine it, he'd probably have to check out my teeth because you can't just see if someone has cavities from looking at them. So I bet examine probably means something about looking at them. And examine means to look closely at or to test someone. So if you say, I examined the classroom, that would mean you looked really closely at it, you inspected it. But if you were to say, I examined a bunch of first graders to see if they were ready for a second grade, that would mean you were testing them. Examine can mean to look closely at or to test. All right. So we've been working on identifying different parts of speech and hang on, sorry, and on figuring out what tense our verbs are in. So just to do a quick review, if you're in Cornell, you know a rapid review, a rapid review. We're going to review the different parts of speech. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. An example is sticky. You think of another adjective? Could be happy, could be fluffy, could be wet, like it's a wet day outside. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Some different examples are Boston, Miss Cashin, and a dog. Take a second to think, see if you can think of one more noun. A verb is an action or a being verb, a being word like is or bikes. Can you think of another verb in your brain? Could be checks, could be runs, could be drinks. Now, verbs in the past tense already happened. Usually they have an ed at the end, but not always, as we're learning with our irregular verbs. Verbs in the past already happened. So examples would be ate, like I already ate lunch, biked, like I biked to work, or was, like I was 9 when my sister was born. Take a second to think in your brain about another past tense verb that you can come up with. Verbs in the present are happening right now or are things that always happen. For example, I watch TV when I'm done with work, or I am teaching. Those are two things that are either happening now or always happen. Take a second to think of an example of a present tense verb. Verbs in the future are going to happen, and the verbs in the future always have two words, either will or going to. They're things that could happen tomorrow, like I will bike, or I'm going to eat, or I'm going to sing. Take a second to think of another example of a future tense verb. All right, cool. So now we're going to read this paragraph and we're going to figure out where the adjectives, nouns, and verbs are and what tense all of the verbs are in. So this is combining all the things we've done all week into one activity. While I'm reading, you're thinking, okay, what's an adjective? Where do I notice a noun? What tense might this verb be in? I'll read it all together first and then we'll go by it. We'll go through it one sentence at a time. My little brother was 9 when he asked for a horse. He loves pretty ponies. Every day he said, I will care for it, I will brush its mane and tail, and I will feed it. Finally, my kind mom agreed to get him a small horse. Okay, so let's start by looking at for all of the adjectives. Remember, adjectives are words that describe nouns. So let's look at this first sentence. My little brother, well, little is telling what kind of brother he is. He's a little brother. My little brother was 9, and it also describes the word brother. What kind of brother? My little brother. When he asked for a horse, he loves pretty ponies. Do you see an adjective in that sentence? Yep. What type of ponies? Pretty ponies. Every day he said, I will care for it, I will brush its mane and tail, and I will feed it. Are there any adjectives in that sentence? Nope, because it doesn't tell us what the mane or tail looked like or what the horse looked like. So there's nothing that actually explains those nouns. Finally, my mom agreed to get him a small horse. There's two adjectives there. See if you can find them. The adjectives are kind because that answers the question, what type of mom? My kind mom. And what type of horse? A small horse. So if the word answers the question, what type? It's going to be an adjective. I'm going to write my adjectives down to here. I would suggest that you write this down just because I'm a speedy typer and I think it's going to make more sense for you to do it on paper, but it's up to you. So sorry. All right. Now we need to find the nouns. Nouns are person, noun can be a person, place, a thing, or idea. Let's look at the first sentence first. My little brother was 9 when he asked for a horse. Who's the person in that sentence? Sorry if you guys can hear the banging. They're doing a lot of construction below our apartment, and it is incredibly frustrating, but I'm hoping that you can't hear it in the video. Who was 9? My little brother. Remember, the noun answers the question, who? My brother was 9 when he asked for a horse. Can you find the other noun in this sentence? Yep, it's a thing. It's a horse. He loves pretty ponies. What's the noun in that sentence? Ponies, because that's, again, a thing. Now, he is not actually a noun because he is a pronoun. We're not going to worry about that right now. If it doesn't have a name or it's not a thing, it's not a noun. Every day, he said, I will care for it, I will brush its mane and tail, and I will feed it. What nouns do you notice? Well, every day. Day is a thing, so day is a noun. He said, I will care for it. Remember, it is not a noun because that's actually a pronoun. I will brush its mane and tail, and I will feed it. What will he brush? What things? Mane and tail. And I will feed it. Remember, it is not a noun. It's actually a pronoun because it's replacing the word horse. Finally, my kind mom agreed to get him a small horse. See if you can find the last two nouns. Finally, my kind mom agreed to get him a small horse. Who? My mom agreed to get him a what? A horse. So now I'm going to go ahead and write in all my nouns. Brother, horse, ponies, day, mane, tail, mom. Oh, looks like I need one more row. And horse. All right, time to find verbs. Verbs are action or being words. And remember, today we actually have to find not just the verb, but also the tense it's in. My little brother was 9 when he asked for a horse. There are two verbs there. See if you can find them. He was. That's not an action, but it's a being word because it's talking about when something was true. So was is a verb. When he asked for a horse, that's a doing word. What did he do? He asked. He loves pretty ponies. What's the verb there? Yep, the verb is loves because that's an action. What is he doing? He is loving them. We'll figure out the tenses after. Every day he said, I will care for it, I will brush its mane, and I will feed it. Every day he said, that tells me his action because he said something. And then there are three more verbs here. See if you can find them. I will care for it, I will brush its mane and tail, and I will feed it. See if you can find all three. I will care. That's an action he'll do in the future. I will brush. And I will feed. Finally, my kind mom agreed to get him a small horse. What did she do? She agreed. Okay, and then the one more verb there is to get, because that's also an action. She has to get it for him. Now, oops, sorry. Now that we have all the verbs labeled, we need to write them down and we need to figure, oh God, sorry guys. It's the end of the week here, huh? Now we need to figure out what tense they're in. Was. What tense is was in? Well, it must be in the past because I know it already happened. Past. That ends in ed. I know it must be in the past. He loves. Loves is something that's always true. So loves must be in the present. Every day he said. What tense is said in? Not say, not would say, said. So it already happened. It must be in the past. I will care for it. I will brush its mane and I will feed it. Care, will, brush, will, feed. All of those verbs have two words in them. And I know if I see two words, then I know that that must be in the future tense because it's something that hasn't happened yet. So I'm just going to write future because it's talking about promises he makes about the future. Finally, my kind mom agreed to get him a small horse. What tense is agreed in? Past. And then the last one is to get, which we'll just say is the present for now. All right, so this kind of chart that we just did today is exactly what you're going to be doing on your own sheet with paper, with your sheet labeled, just like this chart is right here. Adjectives, nouns, and verbs, and then not forgetting the tense with the verbs. Some of you did this for extra credit already, but I'm looking for everyone to do it today. All right, so we've been talking a lot about irregular past tense verbs. Most verbs you can just add ed in onto if they're in the past tense, but some verbs are just a little bit trickier, and unfortunately, you just have to memorize them. On Monday, we talked about GHT verbs, like bought and caught. Do you remember how to spell those? BOUGHT. You can do the little song to remember that. Tuesday, we talked about other past tense verbs like give, which becomes gave, burst, which stays burst, and blow, which becomes blew. Oh my God, I made my own verb mistake. Wednesday, we talk about keep, which becomes kept, let, which stays let, and eat, which becomes ate. Thursday, we talked about bend, which becomes bent, and break, which becomes broke. Today, we're going to review some more. The past tense of dig is dug. I dug a hole at the beach and put my brother inside it. Past tense of do is did. I did all my work. Past tense of fall is fell. I fell over nothing. I do that all the time. Past tense of feed is fed. I fed my sister breakfast. Hi, Harmony. I know that you've done that. Past tense of feel is felt. Like I felt bad about the lie. Past tense of find is found. I found out why she had purple hair. And the past tense of fly is flew. All right, we're going to practice with fall and dig. Now, I notice that some of you have just been writing the past tense of the verb that I ask, but I need to see an entire sentence so I know that you know how to use it in the right context. Let's check. What's the past tense of fall? Oh, it's fell. Let me think. When I was 11, I fell and broke my knee. I didn't really break it. I bruised it, but whatever. Past tense of dig. Let's check. Oh, I see the past tense of dig is dug. I dug a no, I don't want to copy my work. Mm, Archaeologists dig for fossils. What did I do wrong here? I didn't put in the past tense. Dug for fossils. All right, let's take a look back at our work today, which is exam. That can mean to look closely at or to test. And it's now time for your education. So go ahead and prepare your exit ticket sheet. That means your name should be at the top with the date. Then a line for education, a line in the middle, because you're going to be labeling all these adjectives, verbs, nouns, and tenses, and a line at the end because sentences to write for these new irregular past tense verbs. All right, get ready for your education. I bought one bee and won $8. I bought one bee and won $8. I bought one bee and won $8. All right, have a great weekend.